Your team makes it back to the nearest U-Bahn station. 20 minutes later, you're on a return trip to the Kurz Bazaar, leaving the filth of the Dragon Kip far behind. But the image of Green Winter's twisted corpse continues to linger in your mind. You lift one of the discs you pulled from Winter's safe into the light. Reflections dance off his surface. With luck, you'll soon have answers you've been looking for. Hello, and welcome back. I am Maester Aelix, and this is ShadowRun Returns Dragonfall. We are right back where we left off here in the Kurz Bazaar. We had basically just gotten back home, and there we go. Sorry, took a second for my keyboard to kick on. And before we go down and talk to our friend, let's make sure everything we've done earlier is still being recognized. What can I do for you? No questions passing by. Okay, he seems to be just the same. The old troll putters about his artificial joints, complaining loudly. He seems heavier today than you first met. He takes your approach as reason to seat himself and rest. I understand they put you in charge of Monica's outfit. Looks like we're both carrying heavy burdens. Ha, I suppose so. Well, we'll see what gives out first. Your will or my plastic knees. You need anything from me? How are people handling the loss of Monica? I think most are still in shock, but just you wait, they'll pass, and then that'll pass and the panic will set in. Few folks of any real discipline around here. Monica kept them calm by keeping them safe. Now she's gone, they're gonna start realizing what a heap of misery they've in a blasted city it's been. Oh goodness. You consider. Alright. And what about you? How are you feeling? Exhausted by the prospect of change. Damn deaf state. Really doesn't matter much to me, but the rest is going to be a different story. Monica kept this place in one piece. She read the flux like a bird reads the wind and fish reads the current. Without her, no telling what's going to happen. Anything else you want to draw about? Nope. So that's all the more reason why I feel the need to go around and make sure everything's okay. Hey, it's Simmy. Hi, Simmy. The girl with the chip in her head stands with her eyes closed, rocking back and forth. She looks so frail that a light breeze might knock her over. But she somehow stays on her feet, whether by coincidence or by some kind of preternatural junkie awareness. She opens her eyes when you come near. I know you. I'm Aiduken. Pleased to meet you, Miss Kim. Which leads to Kimmy, which leads to Simmy. Simmy Kim is what most people call me. I think, they think I don't know why, but I do, Monica explained. So what have you been up to? The girl absently fingers a chipjack on her temple. I wanted to escape with the children and the captain. We had to get away from the soldiers out of Austria, but it was wrong, all wrong. I was taking them over the mountain, but it was the wrong way, and I knew it was. I would have taken us straight into Germany, not Switzerland. We should have taken a train, gone to Italy. That would have been safe. I didn't want it to end badly, so I turned it off. Zach sold me something new. In it, I feel strong. I have a son, and he's destined to save the world. I have to protect him, because the machines have come back to kill him before he can become a man. I won't let that happen, because in there I'm strong. Though Kim's words are bold, her trembling voice and body betray someone acting for a fix. Alright. How do you feel about Monica's death? Kim hugs her arms to her body. Sad. She never got to have a family. She'll never get married. Never be a mother. Alright. She was a mother to the whole Kurz Bazaar. Kim nods and her head's almost dumbly, eyes unfocused on the ground. Monica said a mother is always a mother. Always. Oof. She hugs herself tighter and stares blankly at the ground. I'll catch up another time. Oh, Kim, there is a sad story there. Alright, anything funky with this statue? Bizarre monument towers before you, appears the artist. As you approach a small, grimy monitor at the base, the statue flecks dimly to life. Hello there, I'm Herbert Kunzel, the creator. Yep, that's the same. How about this phone? Is this phone any good? It's an old, obsolete phone booth. Well, walk away. Alright, nothing special over there now. Not like that one time. There I go. Anything fun or funky over here? At the doctor's clinic. Zach Flash, the chem dealer. Our friendly local neighborhood arms dealer, though. I'm here to buy. Care to tell me about your inventory? Impressive setup. Let's do some business. I actually have some new yen now. Let's see. Armor rating 4. Armored clothing. Let's see. What am I wearing currently? I don't know. Okay, hold on. Doop doop doop. Inventory. I have 1 willpower and 1 charisma. Charisma, I believe, is... Oh, hold on. I finally got karma! Hooray! Willpower is my primary stat. Okay, good. Well, let's see. Well, now my ley lines are visible through the fog of war. Yes, please. Good. So, while the armor clothing sounds nice, it's gonna have to not be today. Don't mind me, just passing through. And there we go. There's the U-bond. Oh, and then here's the dancer we can tip. Seems these shops are not accepting me at this moment. That's fine. Oh, hello. Oh, no, these are the... I got these shops and those shops mixed up. Okay. She tips an invisible hat. Hey there, remember me from the cafe? Name's Kemi. Are you looking for something? Depends. Is there anything I should be looking for? Volunteering information? That's bad for business. Unless Altung wants me to tell you something, but that's rare. I'm just his ears and hands outside the cafe. He's got enough of a voice all by himself. Okay. He doesn't seem to be afraid to use it either. Not in the slightest. Since you moved here, I have some advice. If you haven't guessed already, he's got fingers in a lot of pies. I've seen what happens when he doesn't approve of someone or something. Pissing him off wouldn't be worth it. And at the very least, wouldn't be able to get a good coffee in town again. She grins cheekily. So what's the story between you and Altong? She grins and winks lasciviously at you. Oh, surely you've guessed. Oh, that lucky bastard. You wish. If you're really curious, though, I'll tell you about it sometime. Right now, I've got some errands to run. Come over sometime and we can just chat over a hookah or something. Yeah? She lazily tips an invisible hat at you before turning her focus at the comm on her wrist. Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, let's check out our local talismonger. Which is just a great word, by the way. Hi. Hi, Absinthe. Please excuse me, I have work to do. Okay, then. Hi, Algernon. You look familiar. If you're selling, I'm buying. Yep. Let's see. Powerbolt or Acid Blast, but that requires Conjuring, which I don't got. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's see. What is my current set of spells? Powerbolt 1, Heal Wound, Mana Bolt 1, Weaken Armor. Okay, I could, in theory, ditch the Weakened Armor. But... Ooh. That's nice. Stun Bolt. Doesn't Blizzard Magic. Acid Stream Distraction. 12%, that's always good. Aim Boost, Armor Boost. Oh, these are some really good ones. I'll have to consider and come back later. But now that I know that this inventory has been changed, that's good. Alright. Let's check in on Altung in his shop. Doop. Ha, Blitz. Blitz seems to have found a home for himself here at the Cafe, Chevet. Chevet's? You find him jacked into a portable terminal, lounging in a haze and applewood tobacco. He appears to be supremely at ease. He lazily turns his head at the sound of your approach. Without a word, he sighs and jacks out from the terminal. Hi, Chief. You need something? Just checking in. You doing all right? He smiles wide. Great, Chief. I'm doing just great. It's real nice not to be it's real nice not to be able to wind down it's real nice to be able to wind down and relax for a change. No more worrying about this ganger or that ganger sneaking up behind me and slipping a knife between my ribs. He slaps the table with a grin. It's a good change, Chief, I gotta say. Now, let's see. Good, then you can focus on getting our current job done. It's glad to hear we're happy you're on team. No one's ever really safe, not the gangers involved. Don't let your guard down. Yeah, good, and then you can focus on our current job. Aiduken, come on, he gestures at himself with a flourish. Blitz is always 100% focused. Okay. Now that you're settled in, I've got some questions for you. Okay. Blitz glances wistfully back at the terminal on the table and turns back with a sigh of resignation. I suppose, but try to keep it short, Chief. I've got things to do. How long were you in Dragonkeep? I ended up there after the anarchist revolution of 39. I was just a kid back then, too young to realize how good I was. How much money I could have made working the shadows. Shakes his head, a wistful expression on his face. And so, being young and dumb, I fell in with a gang crowd, and that was that. Let's see. So you're a member of Drugging? Why should I trust you? Why wouldn't you, Chief? I mean, just look at me. He does his best to give you a winning smile. I'm a trustworthy guy. Alright, prove it. Tell me about the gang you're with. Well, I don't know all that much, Chief. I wasn't a member of the gang leadership or anything. I'm just not really sure why you're here either. I consider it a test. I need to know where your loyalties lie. He rolls his eyes. If that's what I'll take for you to trust me, fine. Anything for you, Chief. Well, where to begin? When I first arrived at Dragonkeep, I spent time taking in the lay of the land. Schwarzherzen was still a plenty small gang. Strictly street level, but I could see that they were going places. I did a little pro bono decking for their leader, a little dwarf named Dieter. Soon enough, I was part of the family. For a drug gang, the Schwarzherzen were decent enough folk. I made a lot of money with them, helped them take the hotel in the first place. We had a lot of good years there. Then Dieter was killed in a firefight, and our happy little family fell apart. He was... Was that when the hotel got attacked? Yes. Blitz took a deep breath, shifted his weight from one foot to another. Not exactly. The Schwarzherzen maintained their hold on Dragonkeep, but the change of leadership was bad news for me. After Decker kicked the bucket, his second-in-command took over. She was a real piece of work, called herself Leonie Luster, and she had a vicious streak a mile long, and she was none too fond of me. Did she turn on you? Immediately. I don't know why. Maybe she felt threatened by my friendship with Dieter back before he ate the bullet, or maybe she was just jealous of my rugged good looks. Who the hell knows? The point is, she went after me. Vigorously. Within 24 hours of Dieter's death, I had a price on my head and the hotel had gotten taken over. That's what you need to know about Schwarzhausen. They were a great gang, a powerful gang. I helped them make them that way. When their management turned over and everything went to hell. That's it. End of story. Anything else you want to talk about? Wait a second. Uh, that isn't it. There are some pretty big holes in the story. Come on, boss. This is all ancient history. Wouldn't you rather talk about the future? The runs we're gonna go on? The money we're all gonna make? Blitz, tell me what happened between, uh, Lister putting the price on your head and the hotel getting attacked. Alright, Chief, fine, if that's what makes you happy. So I was in a bind, right? The member of the Schwarzhausen were loyal to Lister, were all out for my blood. None of the others were going to stick their necks out for me. The advantage of being a ganger is protection in numbers. When those numbers turn against you, you've got to get creative the way to stay alive. What did you do? Blitz taps the plastic of his data jack. What I had to do. Lister declared war on me, so I retaliated and I won, without even firing a shot. That's no answer. You wouldn't be satisfied until I spelled it out, will you? Okay, fine. I hacked into Luster's computer and sent all of her information to rival organizations. Remember Frank from the hotel? He was my liaison. They hit they hit the Schwarzhausen, and they hit him hard. And then they took the hotel, and then they took me. I'll admit, the plan backfired a little. Served you right for raiding out your own gang. You're a traitor. You did what you had to do in your place. I'd probably have done the same. Let's out a sigh of relief. Thanks, Chief. I knew you'd understand. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to get back to what I was doing. He gives you a lazy salute. We'll talk later, I'm sure. And Chief, I'm glad to be a member of the team. Yeah. I personally would be like, you traitor, but I want this guy to be on our team and help us, so... All tongue, the Turk leans into you. He keeps the voice low. I have information regarding the matter of my people we're looking into, ma'am. The one involving the surveillance device on my data tap? All tongue, I have been waiting for my coffee for nearly an hour already. Are you growing the beans out back? The coffee vendor shouts. Can't you see I'm speaking with an honored guest? Lower your quivering corpulence. Or, can't you see I'm speaking with an honored guest, you tower of quivering corpulence? Now then, as I was saying, we're fortunate that you happened upon the surveillance when you did. The people on the other end were planning a very bad thing, to be sure. Very bad thing? Quite bad, yes. Monica Schaefer was an important member of the community, more than most were aware. The Kitz was under her protection. You know how it is in the flux. The government is of a place like this is tenuous best. You never know who's going to be in charge one day to the next. But Monica was a stabilizing force, not just because she was dangerous, because she was smart and funny and wise, and she had a way with people. They wanted to support her, to follow her, because they loved her. And when she was killed, it left an opening for others. It would have meant bloodshed in the plan, if this council had been allowed to continue their plan. But they did not, and we owe it to you and I. All right. Indeed we did, Altung. Or we saw to it. Indeed we did. The Kurtz Bazaar will maintain stability a while longer, thanks to us, my friend. And now, what can I do for you, ma'am? Would you like some coffee? Just killing time. I'll be going now. Ooh, more karma. Good. Well, not enough to do anything that we're looking to do, but not a bad thing. Boop. Alright. And stop by our little other dwarf friend. Welcome back. What can I do for you? I have this broken drone. I acquired this drone. Can you get it back up and running? Yeah, probably. Might be a bit of doing, though. I love working on old crap drones. Can't make any guarantees. But either way, it's on the house. I leave it in your hands. I'll start on it right away. See you later. And since we're here... What kind of tech do you carry? Sounds whiz to me. Let me see what you got. And all of this looks very familiar from my previous game, but this magic user would know nothing of this. Doop. Dante must not know I'm home yet. I don't hear his thunder's thumpings. There he is. If you look down, you see a pair of bright eyes set into his scruffy face looking back up at you. Dante, Monica's old dog. Looking down into his huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. On instinctive level, he must know the master is gone. Dante lets out a small whine and rub his head against you. Pat him. Woof. There we go. Alright, let's say hi to Dietrich. Hey boss, Dietrich gives you a slight nod. What can I do for you? Alright. How are you holding up? You seem to take Monica's death harder than most others did. Dietrich shook his head, a wistful expression on his face. Nah, no harder. I'm just less buttoned up than the others. Igrid'll never let herself show any weakness, and Glory, well, she's too full of chrome to feel much of anything. He shrugs. Me? I don't give a damn. I've spent too much of my life putting on a show for others already. What do you mean by that? I used to front a punk band way back when. Believe it or not, I've spent pretty good of my chunk of life on the stage. And whenever we weren't playing, I was living up to our fans' expectations. Spouting off, getting into fights, getting drunk, getting laid. Not a bad life, all things considered. What was your band called? I'd have heard of it. Oh, I doubt it, boss. We never really got any airplay. Let's see. Since when did airplay have anything to do with good music? Fair point, boss. Alright. I'll tell you. The band was called Messerkampf, spelled just like it sounds. Big capital letters and exclamation point. We weren't a big act or anything. We sold a few records here and there, toured around Europe. Same story you'll hear from a bunch of other washed-up old relics, I'm sure. We had a decent following in England, and we held up in London from 31 to 36. Spent most of our time slumming around the East End, and picked up enough Cockney to irritate the folks back home. Truth be told, the whole chapter of my life is a bit of a blur. We didn't do it for the fans or the fame, and we sure as shit didn't care about the money. All that mattered was staying young, drunk, and angry. He takes a moment to examine his gnarled hands, a sad smile on his face. We managed the second two. Good God, where has the time gone? Dietrich shakes himself from his reverie and looks back at you, that familiar, easy grin on his face. Well, anyway, boss, everything ends eventually, and I washed my hands of all that years ago. So let's change subject. What's on your mind? Wait a second, you can sing? He regards you with a critical eye. I was a front man for a punk band, boss. F no, I can't sing. He grins. But I wasn't half bad at riling up a crowd. Cool. Any thoughts on the last run you'd like to share? Well, we found Winters, that's something I guess. The whole thing has me feeling uneasy, boss, but at least we have a direction to look in. How did you go from fronting a band to running in shadows? It wasn't a big leap. It wasn't as big a leap as you'd think. I already had a healthy disrespect for authority, and I had the magic to back it up. One nice thing about shamanism, as long as you keep your idol happy, it doesn't matter what else you do. The Dragon Slayer chose me to be a servant, and as long as I wasn't scrapping with someone bigger than me, or as long as I was scrapping with someone bigger than me, he didn't much care whether I did it on stage or in the shadows. Tell me about the Dragon Slayer. Not much to tell. He chose me when I was just a kid. I could feel him in my heart. Goaded me to laugh louder, hit harder, and get rowdier than the rest. Cause my family didn't understand. But the hell with them, I thought. I knew I was destined for greater things. So I listened to him. I cracked skulls of a lot of bad people. He saw this, he was pleased, and rewarded me with magic. I used the magic to crack bigger, thicker skulls, and so on. He shrugs. Simple life, but a good one. Alright, thank you, Dietrich. Take it easy, boss. See, this is why Dietrich's a badass. Alright, oh, that's our stash. Let's go check our computer real quick. Your workstation mission computer. Da-da-da. Any messages? You've won a mission. Commissioning your services. From withheld to Aiduken, we would like to arrange a meeting between you and one of your representatives. You will find him at the cafe nearby. His name is Luca Dur. He will be expecting you. Come along. Cool, that's interesting. Alright. Access to VBS. Can't relevant keywords. Where to find lost elves? Is there any elf clubs out there and bars in downtown area? I really want to meet one. They're just so beautiful. Maybe we can go dancing. Do elves like dancing? There's one on Throstovs, and bring a bouquet of roses. Elves love a romantic. The elf clubs I know are members only due to creepy groupies like you. Not really appealing when a guy is only after them for the shape of their ears. Ooh. Client screwed me. Benno is a fraud. Broke my first rule. Always get full payment up front. Left me hanging for 50% of the cash after I completed the job. I'm sure he'll have changed his mind by the time this post goes out. Male elf, brown hair, gold eyes. Looks to be in his mid-30s. Be careful who you work for out there. Never thought I'd see you admit to mistake on here. Thanks for the heads up. I'll keep my eyes open. We'll forward any info I come across. I'm telling you if you're still looking to collect from the guy. From ProShot. Sent you some surveillance footage. Is this your man? Sure is. Nice one. I'll split the take with you if your lead pans out. Good to find that there's still some honor amongst us runners. Cool. Let's see. Hey, some pay data. Nice. Post pay data for sale. Escrow account. Go back. All right. Open jobs directory. Pending and active jobs. All right. Nothing. All right. Let's talk to Iger. Iger turns to face you. There's a pained look on her face. Look, I owe you an apology. Oh, is that so? Yeah, it is. When Monica died, I was pissed. That probably doesn't come to a huge surprise. But I took that anger out on you, and I shouldn't have. Seeing Winter's body like that was enough to convince me you couldn't have done anything to help Monica. I couldn't have either. We're dealing with something new. Monica was a good friend of mine. Her death hurt. I got carried away and I said some things I shouldn't have. I want to apologize for that. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. There's a few things I want to say. She stops, turns to face you. You can see the awareness behind her eyes. Go ahead. Nobody's stopping you. Let's see. Oh yeah, she's military, so this kind of hardline approach, I accept your apology, but if you ever insult me in front of the team again, you're going to regret it. I think she'll respect that. She nods appreciatively. Some backbone. That's good to see. Don't worry, Aiduken. I won't question your competence again. Not in front of the others, at least. But I won't lie, I still have concerns about you. Alright. That's your prerogative, but don't forget who leads this team. Tell with your concerns. I have nothing to prove to you. What kind of concerns? Basic ones. But I don't want to see history repeat itself. Alright. You won't. The team is going to succeed, with or without you. Make up your mind, Iger. You said that you don't blame me for Monica's death. Okay. I don't. That's not the history I was talking about. She turns away. You should go, fearless leader. I have got prep to do for our next run, and we've got more important things than to do than watch me pack gear. Oh, that's true. Hey, Glory. How you doing? Glory's expression remains distant, but her lips curl upward into an intimate smile. Aiduken, do you need something? Alright. Alright. Everything still okay with you? You never need to worry about me, Aiduken. I'm fine. You can't have started running in the shadows much more than 5 years ago, tops. So what's with the vintage chrome? That's not a story I'm interested in telling out of context. If you really want to get into it, we're going to need to go back, way back. She stares at me with her cold, dead eyes. And I'm sure you want to do that. Alright. We'll get back to that. Any thoughts on the last run? No, Aiduken. Nothing right now. Okay, you say that, and you'll give me answers, and then we'll talk about your past. So let's talk about it. Why do you care? There is no honesty in her voice. If anything, she sounds suspicious. Because I'm the leader of the team, and I need to know as much as I can about the runners who are working for me. She paused for a moment, considering, and then she nods. All right, fine, we can talk. But we're doing it on my terms. This is a long story, Aiduken. Long and ugly and cruel. Are you sure you want to hear this? Please. Alright, I'm going to start at the beginning. Not for you. For me. I guess that might help me stay out of... Wow. I guess that it might help me to say all of this out loud. She takes a deep breath and then slowly releases it. When she speaks, her voice comes out in a cool monotone. My family lived in Stuttgart. It was a nice enough place, I suppose. My parents worked as wage slaves for the IFMU. My mom was a good person. Once upon a time, my father was a decent person as well. That's what Mom told me, but I never knew him that way. She paused for a long moment and then began speaking again. Some of the ice has fallen away from her voice. For the first time you met her, Glory sounds alive. The dad that I knew was an old, damaged Euro war vet who turned to hardline religion to make sense of the world. In Stuttgart, that meant that either the Ritter Christi or their fascist cousin, the Kreuzritters, my father chose the latter path. I still remember hiding in my room when my father had his Kreuzritter brothers over for the prayer group. They would drink and get rowdy, then spend an hour or two riling those up to talk about heretics and the devil's work. Then they'd go find some poor elf or dwarf, stomp the living shit out of them, and drown him in the nectar. Meanwhile, I'd be holed up at home with Mom, who could commemorate the event by drinking a bottle of wine and crying herself to sleep. Just elves and dwarves that a mage or an orc would make for a more tempting target. I'm sorry, Glory. No child should have to grow up around that. Thanks, Aiduken. This is difficult for me. Thank you for making it easier. Anyway, aside from the fact that my dad and his buddies were a bunch of murderous assholes, life was pretty normal. I went to school, made friends, hung out with my mom, kid stuff. Then I turned 14, and everything went to shit. Glory pauses and swallows hard. Ever so slightly, her cheeks flush red. Suddenly she looks self-conscious, as if she just snapped out of a trance. As quickly as it came, the flush of emotion disappears and her voice frosts over. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Alright. You don't need to say anything you don't want to, but if you ever want to talk, you know where to find me. Thank you for understanding. Glory stares at the cold, dead eyes. Now, let's get back to the job at hand, shall we? Yes. However, that job at hand will have to wait for next time, and this is where I'll say thank you all for joining me. I hope you're enjoying my content as much as I'm enjoying making it for all of you. If you like this video, please remember to do the usual YouTube thing of like, comment, subscribe, and of course, share, because sharing is caring. And please check out the links down below for all sorts of new and wonderful stuff, including my new Twitter feed. And of course, everyone's welcome over at the Discord server. Anyway, thank you all for joining me, and I shall see you all next time.